let's do a quick record on a Deli Turdz game. I haven't looked too closely on it. Turdz is going to be playing the red cards, Deli the blue cards. And Turdz starts by immediately trying to take advantage of Deli's down weakness, right? Deli only has captures in 8 here, and all the captures look kind of uncomfortable, right? You put a 9 sticking out with this card or this card, you are comboed. You put an 8 sticking out. That's not much better. You put a 6 sticking out. Nope, doesn't work either. And you put a 5 sticking out. Nope, not that either. So I think this is a visibly difficult starter to deal with. One of those kind of, it's half safe, but the other half you have no real way to address. And so even if you play some move like this that gives you the card in 4, you're still going to have this serious problem in 8. Now, maybe there's no card they can take out of their hand that doesn't let you now have access to 8. But it still looks just rather dangerous to me. And I think maybe this kind of thing could be quite annoying. I'm not sure where you go next, right? This here or here is comboed by 9375. This is comboed by 9529. We've been through that. 8378, 8378. Yeah, just looks really tough. So, not computer checked or anything, just saying, like, instinctively, this looks like a very annoying starter to meet. And Deli says, okay, I can't take you. I'm going to build my own stuff. You can't take me. Very reasonable. I always hesitate a little to look at the bottom of the board when I see I have this down weakness, but this is obviously a very smart thing to do, creating your own difficulties. This also blocks the square that Turdz needs to combo back if Deli goes in 8, so Deli now has a legitimate threat to go in 8, and Turdz reasonably blocks 8. And Deli sees, okay, I don't have anything for 4 or 5, so I'm going to go in 6, and I'm going to set up the L, and Deli plays in 6. And this gets us to our critical position. Now, Deli noted after, and he mentioned this in the chat, and he was correct, as he often is, that Turdz could have tied in 3 here. Turdz got scared of this because it seems like such a big concession to give up 5 here, but his cards are really good at being sweepers. Deli's cards are not very good up-down, so 8378 has a lot of potential to be an up-down sweeper, and 6819 has a lot of potential to be a left-right sweeper. Now here, it's not quite the left-right sweeper it needs to be. It somehow ends up with no captures here. But 8378 is a sufficient up-down sweeper, and Turdz could have gotten the tie this way. But I actually think what he did is also a really cool way to show the power of having an up-down and a side-to-side sweeper. And it's just a cool move. Deli shouted it out, which is why I'm looking at the game. Because Turdz did something quite creative here. Did not take the kind of generic, let's go in 3. There might be a tie in 5 as well, but I think you have to be pretty precise which card you put there, and there might not be. I'm not seeing why one obviously would tie, and probably not obvious, but I think the solver did say, when I briefly checked if there were any blunders this game, yeah, there is a card that holds in 5, and if you want to try to find it, you can. But that said, Turdz found the very creative 9529 in 1, where he can sort of, against anything that's played, create either side-to-side or up-down advantages. First of all, he notices he has really good control of 4. Very hard for Deli to play in 4, given that if he does so, 2 of his cards are immediately samed, and his other card is plussed. And so he notices he has really good control of 4, and the main drawback of 1 is it gives the opponent a really pleasant move in 4, and Deli doesn't have that move here. The next question is, can Deli go 3? This is the other square you can go that is only one side facing out, so it's natural to look to next. And if Deli puts something in 3 and isn't careful, he can get in serious trouble here, because 6819 fully sweeps that side-to-side game, and in fact is winning here, because anything in 5 fails to capture anything, and 6819 takes it, and anything in 4 gets comboed. Now, if you're a little carefuler in 3, you put something like this in 3, I don't think you lose, because it's the same idea. 6-8-1-9 is going to secure the tie, but it's no longer going to secure the win because 4-8-7-7 can capture something without getting comboed. So there's ties in 3, but again, 3 doesn't work, and it's because of this cool creation of I can control you up-down, or I can control you side-to-side. Another thing Deli could do is go in 5, but this leaves you with only cards that can be comboed. And in fact, now you can't go 2 because either of your cards are comboed, and you can't go 3 because, again, the side-to-side sweeper. So you sort of have this construction where if there's 2 squares side to side, you can play 8-3-7-8 such to leave those as the final 2 squares, and 6-8-1-9 sweeps. And as we saw in the other variation where 9-5-2-9 goes in 3, sometimes you set it up so 8, not there, so 8-3-7-8 is the sweeper. So I thought this was a really neat, don't know if you can hear the thunder, thought this was a really neat little configuration. Deli ended up blocking 5, notably with a card that cannot be captured by 8-3-7-8. Very importantly, in this variation, it flipped the card in 5 due to the plus. But with the 6 facing out, that's not going to be the case. Turdz can take, and then he certainly has this covered, right? But he does not have this covered, and Deli would win. But of course, right, the important thing here, and this is something, obviously these are very good players, not a problem, but something I notice a lot with beginning players is they will use the card that does more now and leave themselves with the weaker card for later. And here, like in so many positions, the correct way to play this endgame is keep the sweeper, keep the 6-8-1-9, and use the 8-3-7-8 and leave yourself with a card that sweeps the remaining squares. And Turdz gets a tie. But he actually plays this tricky move that could even have some potential to win a game against careless play out of a pretty dangerous position. And I like the game the whole way. I think the starter looks great from Turdz, but after Deli's move, it's suddenly like, Turdz has to block 8, and this isn't super comfortable. And then Deli can set up an L where he's actually in quite good shape against a starter that looked really dangerous for him. Makes me wonder if there was anything Turdz could have done here besides occupy 8. But it doesn't look easy to do so, right? Because if you play this big setup, if you have a setup in 5, you know, say you have something like this, not really a setup, but pretend it is. It sets up 6. Like Deli can still occupy 8. He's not ever facing serious combo problems. So surprisingly difficult position. Really strong adjacent corner, gets a favorable L, and then Turdz plays a really creative way to hold the game, seeing that 8-3-7-8 is a critical up-down sweeper and 6-8-1-9 is a critical side-to-side sweeper.